It was a hard film to watch of this game because of the lost opportunity, and it's unfortunate that that's what happened yesterday. You know, game fought all the way down to OT and all of that. That would have been fine to get it in OT, but we didn't. We had the ball first, had our shot, and didn't get it done, and they were able to get the field goal they needed. So there's a couple opportunities left in this season to do something good, and we got to get it done. And we just feel bad that we missed one down there in Santa Clara. There's a lot of, it's amazing the way the numbers match up for us, and the more we look at it, the more unusual it was that to see us come out, you know, with the ball, turnover wise, not turning the thing over, hit a bunch of numbers just in the same fashion we have been doing for some time, and winning with it, and that not getting the win for the day. And what was drastically different was the penalty situation, that we just gave them too many opportunities and put ourselves in too many bad situations. And that had the impact on a game that was close. So it's unfortunate, but you know, we got to get cranking and get going again. So we had a good session today. Try to learn from the lessons, and there's all of the penalty things are correctable. We can fix those. We need to do it, and we just have to get that done. So everybody understands that. It's really clear. If you give anybody that much, it makes it easy for them, and we kind of did that.
What was your assessment of Ethan after watching the film?
He had a bit of a struggle on a couple of plays. He did some good things in the running game, and got in bad situation on his pass set, and tried to save Russ by grabbing the guy. And you know, nice thought. We don't want him to do that. Put it on Russ. You know, Russ has to move and get out of the way and get the ball off, and not go to this choice. You know, don't go grabbing the guy. It was a legit penalty on that one.
Up until now, the penalty numbers have been down from last year. You talked right at the end of last season about that being a big disappointment, and how, you know, starting in April you had a plan to clean up. What have you guys kind of done to improve in that area?
Really, just coach to it as much as we can, and educate them as much as we can about what is okay and what isn't. Try to stay abreast of the league as the league adjusts and how they're calling things, and adapt to that. Make all of the regular old style football coaching points about guys running for penalties and guys, things in practice, and that just kind of the reminder punishment things just to keep it, that we're always trying to toe the line. All the stuff that you can do, and I think things changed a little bit in the second half. We got 10 penalties in the second half, so I don't know how that happened, but it did, and we got to make sure that we're not trying too hard, overdoing it, and just believe in what we're doing and stay with it, and sometimes that can get you.
What happened on the missed PAT? Anything?
We were a little late on the kick. It took us a little extra time, and that just threw the timing off just a bit. And snap was good and all that, but just Seabass was just a little late, on the timing of getting the thing off, and I think that was the difference in how the ball flew.
The pass interference on Shaquille at the end, what did you think when you saw that one?
Well, that's a tough call. He knew what he was doing. He was trying to stay clear. You could see his hand off the guy and the whole thing. But, the official saw it the way he saw it. So obviously those are total judgment calls. He really was conscious of the fact he was trying to stay off the guy, because he was really tight on his coverage. And you watch his right hand, work away from the guy and all that. But there might have been something that the official saw before. I don't know. It's a really aggressive coverage moment, and so there's an opportunity for a call.
You instruct him to play that any differently?
No.
You mentioned the 10-second half penalties. You also have 5 within the last 3 minutes, and then the overtime period as well. For those to show up in such critical parts, how
I'm really disappointed in that, because that's about finishing and doing right, and it just didn't happen, and that's too bad, because we've spent a lot of time, a lot of emphasis in trying to finish the games, by doing the right things instead of that kind of stuff happening, and that's because that's what can occur, and so. It was really clear to these guys, and everybody felt bad about their part in it, and coaches too, and so we're going to try to get cleaned up this week.
3 tackles for a loss for Puna forward. He's had a couple games here recently where he's shown up.
Yeah, he's been really aggressive. He's shown really good instincts, to get a feel for taking advantage and making plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get some more playing time.
Jaron Reed wasn't really known as a pass rusher at Alabama. numbers kind of ramped up in his first 2 years here. What has been the reason for his kind of breakout this year?
I just think he's grown up in the game. You know, he's such a talented player. He's just realized, you know, what he could do to make himself a better pass rusher, working with the coaches and working with the scheme and understanding where everybody is and how to work off the games. He took full advantage of a game on a second sack yesterday and hit it just right. And he's just growing as a player. He's got really good instincts. He's got great feel for the game, and I just don't think it all was focused and applied at the pass rush. It certainly was coming out of college. They were killing the running game back at Bama, and he was great at it. That's why we liked him, and we knew he could do that. It's been a bit of a surprise that he's jumped so much in this season, and it's been really helpful. We appreciate it.
Did the Niners do anything defensively to take away the explosive passes down the field?
No, nothing different.
In your experience, have losses like this at this point in the season ended up being a good thing in a weird way because it was a wake-up call, or is that?
Yeah, sometimes it can be. You know, you just got to see how we bounce from it. You know, we were rolling pretty good there. You know, we had 4 really strong games in a row. We've done a lot of good things for a long time. You know, and that's why, you know, there's so many positives that you can see in the game. You can they're all right in front of you. You know, the numbers and the stats and the emphasis and, you know, the completions and the rushes and all those kinds of things that add up to success. Usually the turnover thing, no turnover on offense, all of those things usually spell a win for you. And without the added issue of you know, getting behind on the penalty situation, we would have won the game. You know, so it's really clear. This is a really clear. It's not like there's any mystery of what happened in this game. We just got to clean it up.
It looked like footing was an issue. What did you see with that?
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't great. There was guys slipping all over the place, you know, and you could see guys in pass protection. You could see guys on field goal protection, you know, sticking their cleats in the ground and it was moving. It's the same on both sides of the ball, though. You know, they're subject to the same turf that we are, so it's not a. You know, there's no reason complaining about it. It's just what it is. But it was a factor.
You said you didn't, I think on the radio this morning, you said you didn't think it was going to be that way. Was that just because?
No, I thought it was going to be that way. I told them it was going to be really lousy, and then when we get out there in pregame, it looked like a pretty good turf. They had redone the middle part of it and all that a couple weeks ago, and it felt like it was going to be a good turf, but it didn't work out that way. You know, you could see guys that couldn't dig in. So it was just kind of, we were prepared for it. We prepared for it to be a difficult turf, and it still was a factor. It was like we were comparing it to what we expected in London. You know, we'd heard a lot about the turf going to be bad, and we felt like we hung in there pretty good there. And so we did all the same preparations and all of that, and you know, I don't know if it was any worse. It just looked like it was an issue at sometimes.
What happened to Tedrick on a long touchdown and he just loses?
Well, he slipped and fell, yeah. Yeah.
On the touchdown return, the Niners touchdown return, Steve Ass's effort didn't look great.
Yeah, I wish he would have tried anything. You know, the first thing that the kicker has to do is get the guy to turn back into the field. He got that done, but you know, just anything. We'll take anything because it wound up being a touchdown. We could do more, and so he feels bad about that. He's not going to be a great open field tackler. All right? That's not what our expectations are. But we like to have something.
Why he did what he did?
No.
Do you have any more of an update on Jordan from this morning? Jordan Simmons.
Yeah, he's got it. We'll let you know in a couple of days here what's going on. But he's more so when we know. But he has a knee injury. He's got a pretty good knee injury. It's going to be an issue.
Mullen's got 2 pretty productive passing games against you guys. What on your
He's
end?
good. He's a good player. I mean, I don't know. I've watched the last 3-4 weeks of the guy. He's a really good football player. And we hit him. We chased him. He's accurate. He's poised. His arm's plenty good enough. Accuracy was there, and I thought he's just good. I mean, they're fortunate to have a guy come off, you know, out of the depth chart there to come out and play like that. I think he's a good ball player.
How close is DJ to coming back?
We're going to know in the next few days. I can't tell you right now. We're hoping that he might have a chance.
How's Bradley doing today?
Pretty sore. You know, that's going to be all the way to the end of the week.
Same with KJ?
I was waiting for you. Yeah, KJ's going to practice this week, and we'll see how he does. The ramping up has worked out fine, and he's ready to go. And we're thinking, you know, if the week goes well, he's got a chance to play. which he's really excited about. We'll see what happens. But we really won't know till the day we go, and then the next day, and the next day as we know. And so, but we'll keep our fingers crossed for him.
You said Friday that Saturday was going to be important for him. How did he come out of it?
He did really well. Yeah, things went. It's all positive right now.
With Doug getting back, having his first multi-touchdown game of the year, how tough has this year been on him? I mean, 5 different injuries he's had to work through, and to have this in the week before to come back and get a game like that under.
Yeah, it's been really difficult for a guy who lives with such high expectations and has such a tremendous work ethic. And just an amazing toughness about him too. You know, he just will not accept that he can't go and can't play. He's broken the time frames on every injury that he's had to get back, just because he's worked at it. Of course, he's rehabbed diligently, but he's just kind of willed it to happen. That was great to see him have a big game and look so effective for us. It's just been frustrating for him. He just has not been able to get it going, you know, with the consistency that he knows he can do and we know he can do and all that. And so it's a big deal. You can see he and Russ were really hooking up and made some great plays yesterday, crucial third downs and big plays and all that. So yeah, it's good to have him back in action. I guess he came out well, you know, too. He's fine coming out of the game, which is great. And we'll just try to put together another good week.
Pete, how important is it for the young guys to see a guy like Doug Baldwin to continue play and give the effort regardless, playing through the injuries?
Yeah, that's an extraordinarily valuable opportunity for the young guys to learn from these guys. And we've had some guys that have just been over and above, you know, with their toughness and but not just toughness, but just their way of applying how they're going to deal with you know, obstacles and issues and how they come through it and all that. And we constantly are using our guys as examples when we can, and he's a prime example. We've had so many great stories over the years of guys being able to come through and just defy the odds. And you know, some people when they have problems, they go right to the doctor, says you got 3 months or whatever, and they got 3 months. And there's other people who say there's no way. You know, I'm not buying into that. This isn't going to hold me back. You know, and the mentality of that I know heals people, and I've just witnessed it too many times. They heal themselves when they heal, and the stronger their belief, the more they can feed off of that, the faster they come back. And so to have examples like that, and Doug is a prime example of that, it helps us. It helps other guys. It helps these guys learn what is possible, and give them, you know, the attitude that they can overcome most anything that comes their way. And it's powerful.
The Carson touchdown run, where does that rank among your favorite from this season?
That was a great one, man. That was a great one. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it's up there with, you know, he himself has already, in his short time, has had a number of great finishes at the goal line. But he finishes everything, and you can see it across the field. It just happened to be on the goal line this time. His great will. He should have been stopped. Rabel had him stopped. You know, he had him stopped, cold, dead, couldn't make it, and then he came out of nowhere and finished it. It was so it's really one of my favorites.
Beyond the points, can a play like that kind of affect the team just the way
it did? Yeah, it does. It does. You know, everybody, those guys, and watching the film today where they really could see it and kind of sharing the experience of it and see what he did and how he did it, and yeah, it does affect him.
Chris has talked before about how, for him, there was a sort of a turning point in college where he really started, making an effort and taking pride in running a certain way. Did you see when you were scouting him from the junior college days where he didn't run like that?
No, but we did talk about that when we first got to talking, and there was a time when he thought he needed to be a scat back, make you miss type of guy, and use all of his shake and bake to make his style come to life. And I can't remember exactly what caused the transition, but he realized that wasn't what was best for him, and he went back to hardball running and attacking and all of that, and he showed his style. So he didn't have a lot of time now. He was a junior college guy. He got kind of bounced around in the recruiting process, was going to go to Georgia and then wanted to go into Okie State, and didn't get off to a great start there. And he only got 2 years, and so he didn't start well. I think he got banged up or something, and by the time he came back and got ready to compete again, he was in his senior year, and so he just didn't have a lot of time to ramp up his career in college. But there was enough, there was those 82 carries or whatever it was on there that was enough to show who he was, and we're just lucky that we stumbled into it and found him, and he shows you he's a terrific football player.
David Moore's had a quiet like past 3 games. Anything you attribute that to?
No, not really. Just the ball hasn't gone that way enough. He's working hard. He's doing some good stuff, but it just hasn't gone that way.
On Tyler Lockett's muffed kickoff return, was that just a wet ball, or?
No, he was really attacking it. He saw that it was a low flight on the kickoff, and he knew that he had a chance to do something with it. So he just tried to hit it on the run, and it just popped a little bit on him, and he just didn't handle it as well as he's famous for not mishandling the ball and in our circles, and the ball got away from him. It was a miraculous recovery of the ball, also, but he was just going for it, and just didn't quite track it just as tightly as he needed to.
Why has he been such an efficient receiver this season? Because the stats, as far as when he's targeted and how efficient he is in general, it's kind of taking.
He's so disciplined as a player that he does things exactly the way you practice it, which really lends to helping the quarterback. He's really, really precise on the way he runs his routes. I mean, you saw the double move route that he hit. He ran it exactly like that in practice throughout the week, and it helps the quarterback's efficiency because he knows exactly where he's going to be. Not to mention also in the scramble situations too, he resorts to the right choice all of the time too, and gives himself to the quarterback in a great way. So he's a tremendous performer, and that he does how he practices, and you can really count on him. So I think that's probably the number one thing that leads to the efficiency that's been showing up.
Is that something that, did he have a sense of that coming to the running quarterback like Doug has always been so good at? Is that something that Lockett had to develop with Russell?
Locke was really a great route runner in college. He caught a lot of balls and did a lot of great stuff there at K-State. I thought he was like the best route runner in the draft. He was so precise. So he's been raised to be that way. It's kind of in the family, and he's playing when he was a young kid, and he's always been really good at what he does. And this is just the next levels of it. He's as efficient as you can get.
How's Rashad doing?
I don't know that yet. We got to wait a couple days here. We'll see by Wednesday. He's working hard to try to get back, but it's not certain yet how if he's going to be able to turn it around or not.
What did you see from Delano and Shalom when they were in there?
I thought both those guys did a nice job. I made mention to the team today that those guys, in stepping into their opportunity, both did some good things and were effective in the game, and we were really happy to see that. Bradley, getting banged up, we needed those guys, and we had to keep our special packages alive. They jumped right in there and did a nice job. They prepared really well. But both guys made some nice plays in the game, and it's just helping us move ahead with confidence that those guys can go in. We could use those guys if we need them this weekend.
Given how well the defense was playing late in the game, was there any thought at all in the OT about?
No. No, we're going to get the ball. Get the ball, go first, go get it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Great job by Brett Hundley.